Kurt Angle winning the WWE title after over a year in the second straight pay-per-view of two title changes on both brands, with the company starting to position the major players in place for WrestleMania season, saw Angle starting his third title run, with his previous two wins coming in major events against Rock and Austin in the past 2 years. As with growing talks in recent weeks of the four biggest names in the industry all about to make their return in the near future, with Rock, Hogan, Austin and Goldberg all but officially confirmed to play a major role on the show already in early 2003, Angle and Lesnar with their eventual clash set in stone for almost a year as one of the most anticipated matches in the business, including internally in the company after their shoot wrestling exchange in late 2001. Are set to face a major challenge to keep the buzz for the match going, with at least two megastar power feuds involving the top four stars and Vince McMahon expected to kick off soon on both brands, setting the stage to open SmackDown with Angle and Lesnar in their first face-to-face in-ring segment, hyping the eventual title match, with Angle offering Brock the shot for next Thursday to start the show. Long Angle with a catch, with the common knowledge of the match being saved for WrestleMania in more than 3 months. Unlike Raw, which despite coming off a pay-per-view with an increase in the rating saw one of the lowest viewers per home figures of the year, the post-Armageddon SmackDown started with the reverse pattern, with an increase in total viewers for the Angle-Lesnar segment in the opening quarter. SmackDown climbed throughout the first hour, with Eddie vs. Kidman going 3 minutes in the usual strong pickup spot at 8:30 p.m., and with the talk of the business during the week being Rock publicly confirming the start of Goldberg's negotiations with the company to set up Rock vs. Goldberg in the WrestleMania 19 main event, with hopes of reaching a deal in the near future. JR, with tickets going on sale for the pay-per-view in Boston in 2 days after the company already announced the Raw main event for the show, with Scott Steiner vs. Triple H for the title set up last Monday, all but confirming Undertaker's return in time for the Royal Rumble, with Taker following the No Mercy Hell in a Cell match after being written off in October with an injury. Angle of Big Show throwing him off the stage, getting closer in his recovery from several injuries despite still dealing with elbow issues, with him currently set to make his first appearance on the show after over 3 months. After showing the extended version of the tape Sunday during the Armageddon pay-per-view, with the program despite being deliberately mocked by the announcers in post-production due to Al Wilson's TV performance on almost a weekly basis, continuing due to the usually strong numbers for their segments, with the follow-up on the night saw Dawn Marie interrupting the Tory satellite interview to set up potentially the payoff segment of the feud by announcing a wedding ceremony to take place in the first show of the new year, targeting a massive audience boost to kick off 2003 in hopes of matching or getting close to the last similar angle of the show that resulted in a huge viewership spike for the Billy and Chuck segment on September 12, with the Tory Dawn segment continuing the streak, going to bump the show into the 6 million viewers range. Brock Lesnar's first TV match back since the rib injury in early November opened SmackDown's second hour, with Lesnar after being advertised for a match against Matt Hardy, who got out of it by claiming eye injury, following the pattern of his short house show main event by squashing Shannon Moore, with Brock not set to fully return until the start of next year. And while Lesnar was dealing with injuries for over 2 months, the timing of the holiday period with the lesser road schedule and longer time off for both brands saw Kurt Angle, after working through knee issues for even longer, undergoing knee surgery Thursday in Birmingham to start his recovery just as SmackDown on the night went on the air, with Angle after tonight not set for any advertised match until close to the Rumble pay-per-view, taken out of any house show appearances in January, with his last non-televised match coming in his first title defense 24 hours after Armageddon, with him retaining the belt in a 3-way against Lesnar and Big Show on Monday. with Angle returning to the ring in the second half of the top of the hour quarter for the big segment of the night to reveal the swerve of him hiring Paul Heyman as his new agent. After the past several weeks of walking the tweener line with him naturally starting to be heavily cheered by the crowds, fully turning back heel to detail the plan of them working Lesnar to now put everything in place for the upcoming Angle vs Lesnar feud in the months leading up to WrestleMania 19, with the Angle reveal segment peaking the show with over 6.2 million viewers to continue the strong viewing pattern on the night, followed by Show, who as a result of the swerve also got worked by Heyman coming out for the confrontation, with Heyman attempting to set up a new heel group with both Angle and Show as his clients, booking the final SmackDown main event of the year with Angle vs Show for the title currently set for next Thursday, with Angle's injury status still unknown at this point in the Tuesday taping. Similar to December of last year when the company set up the road schedule to give the talent roster and production crew the holiday week off the road before returning with a rare Thursday broadcast of SmackDown in the new year, the Tuesday taping on the night was the final show of 2002 under the usual schedule, with next Monday's Raw set to be taped this Saturday in Oklahoma, followed by SmackDown a day later in Tulsa, with the December 30th Monday show set to be a Best of 2002 highlight special, before returning with a live SmackDown broadcast from Albuquerque on January 2nd and the first televised show of 2003, along with the Raw crew on the same day working a rare house show in Honolulu, Hawaii, opening SmackDown's final half hour with an Armageddon rematch of Edge vs A-Train going 6 minutes, after the DQ finish on the pay-per-view, delivering a decisive finish with Edge despite the recent Albert push with a makeover as A-Train to reportedly build him up for a Taker program, going over clean with him higher on the ladder for a main event elevation in the near future, followed by Lesnar's first comments on the Angle and Heyman swerve to all but set up his interference in the TV main event with Angle vs Chris Benoit in a non-title match going 10 minutes over the majority of the final quarter, with the match which was targeted as a future headline title program since their run as heel tag partners all but confirmed to be the WWE title match for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, previewing it by putting on their usual strong performance, with Angle after working his final match for the next month being written off for knee surgery in a post-show angle set to only air next Thursday, with Angle after teaming with Show to take out Lesnar and Benoit in the end of the TV portion of the taping, being laid out by Brock minutes later with him smashing his knee on the ring post several times as the storyline reason to explain his absence despite holding the title, with Angle's first SmackDown as WWE Champion, with him all over the show in 3 major segments throughout, starting his reign strong with the show totaling over 5.7 million viewers in the most watched SmackDown in almost 2 months.